Inflation versus deflation. Hello, my name is Gary Axelman. I coach founders and investors on business plan ideation and execution in this world of black swan events. I hope you like what you see here. These are only my opinions. If you'd like to see more, follow me on TikTok or on YouTube, and let's go. Inflation versus deflation. So this has been one of those conversations that I've had throughout my life that I guess I was a skeptic from day one. I remember when I was 11 years old, my dad sold a farm, and I remember he used the term made. He said, you know, I've made 10x return on my investment since I bought this farm. And he bought the farm back in the 60s, and inflation and everything worked in his favor, and he got out in 81. And I remember when he used that term made, I remember kind of being skeptical, because this was also the same farm that my old man used to say, you know, if you live less than a mile away from a sand and gravel pit, you probably don't have much of a piece of farm ground. And we were a mile from a sand and gravel pit. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, well, there's a conflict in this statement. So I want to explain to people inflation is not new money. Inflation doesn't give you any more buying power. It's just bigger numbers in your balance sheet or your property statement or your whatever. You buy an asset, and by the way, buying assets was inevitable after going off the gold standard in 1972. It was the only way to defend yourself against the inflation, and it worked for a long time. But here's the thing. If you bought something for $100,000 and sold it for $1 million, and the business wasn't generating any more revenue than it was when you bought it at $100,000, then the only appreciation in value in this is based upon inflation. You don't have any more buying power. The entity doesn't produce any more revenue than when it was worth $100,000. The numbers are bigger, that's all. And you're not any richer. Inflation does not make you any richer. It's just bigger numbers. It's a mind fuck. Okay, this is gaslighting on the part of the Federal Reserve and lawmakers and Wall Street. Why? Is because the value of everything that you buy has also gone up at the same time. This is Warren Buffett's business plan. Okay, he is a really good stock picker, but he's not a wealth creator. He's a wealth accumulator. He's just rode inflation, and he's picked stocks a little bit better than most people. Honestly, at the end of the day, he's just barely beat the S&P 500 over a 50-year average, to be honest. Okay? So here's the thing. Inflation robs from you. Deflation robs from the bank and the government. Because when you have deflation, the value of things go down, but the value of what is owed against them does not. Or in the case of government, the value of something goes down, but the government needs the tax revenue to continue to pay for schools and roads and everything else, and maybe the cost of building those has not gone down. That's why they will always, every government throughout the history of mankind has tried to inflate themselves out of problems, and we're going to do it right now. We're going to try to inflate ourselves out of the situation, the $37 trillion in debt that America is sitting on right now. They're going to try to inflate that away. Mark my words. And that's why you better own Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is going to go up like a frickin' rocket if they play this game.